Hey everybody, it's Marie here at A Place to Heal. And what do you know? You guys are all back again. So today, I want to talk to you guys about juicing versus blending. So basically either using a juicer or using a blender and making smoothies. And I have so many questions on this. You know, should I juice? Should I blend? When should I juice? When should I blend? You know, so I decided that I was just going to go ahead and do a video on it. And I'm probably going to say some controversial stuff like I normally do. And some of you may not agree with me, but this is just what I've found either by trial and error or with working with my clients or things that I've just picked up along the way. And there's certain people that should juice, and there are certain people that should do smoothies and blend their fruits and vegetables. And you know, when you get on the internet, or you get on YouTube, or you get on Facebook, or any of these sites, there's a lot of hype that goes on. Not so much over blending. You don't see a lot of people telling you to use your blender, but there is a lot of hype over juicing, you know. And what I started to notice when I first got into this and I first started juicing was that I would be on Facebook or YouTube, and some people would constantly put up pictures of, you know, this person lost 100 pounds while juicing, and this person lost 200 pounds while juicing, and this person lost 300 pounds while juicing. And something that I noticed, and I also learned a little myself, and you know, after some investigation, is a lot of these people don't have any proof that they even know these people. You know, and then I started noticing, like, I would go on Pinterest and I would see the exact same picture that was posted on someone's site claiming that this person lost 300 pounds with juicing. I saw the exact same person, the exact same picture posted that they used, you know, Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or something like that. So, you know, it's hard, who do you believe, right? I mean, it is just, there's so much information out there. That's number one. The second thing I learned was that most of the people that I spoke to that lost a lot of weight with juicing didn't just lose it with juicing. I mean, juicing was a tool that they used, but it was not the only tool that they used. You know, they also changed their diet, and they incorporated this and they incorporated that, and they started taking these herbs, and you know, they started working out. It wasn't just juicing that got them to where they are. I mean, juicing definitely was a tool for me. It helped me on my weight loss journey, on my health journey, but it was definitely not the only tool that I used along the way. So some of the people that do best on juicing are, you know, if you have a disease that's really, really bad, cancer, you know, something like that, lupus, or, you know, I mean, something that's really, really bad, you definitely want to juice. Juice is one of the easiest ways to get nutrients in a very fast rate into your body. Also, if you're fasting, juicing is the way to go. Water fasting is a little bit too severe for some people, but they want to lose weight, and juicing is that great in between, you know, that great in between space where you're still getting something into your body, you're still getting nutrients into your body, and you can stop the hunger, you know. And with juicing, there's absolutely, you know, it stops your colon from actually working. It gives your colon a break, a vacation, and you know, and your body is able to use that time to heal instead of processing food, because your body uses 80% of its resources trying to digest food. So you know, if you're sick, that's great. You know, you're giving your colon a rest, and you're using those resources to heal yourself instead of digest food. If you have malnutrition issues, juicing is wonderful, because juicing is a very quick way to get nutrition into your system at a very fast pace. I mean, there's at no time in your life are you going to sit down and eat, a whole head of spinach and a whole head of celery and 10 apples and 18 carrots. There's no way, but in one juice you can get all that nutrition. The people that should not juice are people that have like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, diverculitis, stuff like that have serious intestinal issues with their colon, because they're unable to tolerate the fiber. The fiber is very rough for them. That's why they call it roughage, and it's very rough, and sometimes it will cause more damage than it does good. If you're going from the standard American diet, the SAD diet, straight into juicing, that could be a serious issues, because what ends up happening is that this juice has a lot of antioxidants. So as you're drinking this, I'm sorry, I just ate a little bit ago. As you're drinking this, these antioxidants are stirring up in your intestines, and you're stirring up all these chemicals and all these toxins and all this stuff in your colon. And what happens is it just gets sent right back to your organs for reabsorption. And what ends up happening is you can end up with headaches, vomiting, body aches, flu-like symptoms, sleepiness, fatigue, and a lot of acne. And if you're going from the standard American diet straight into juicing and you're not going to do enemas, I don't suggest it, and this is why the Gerson protocol works so well, because when you're dealing with the Gerson protocol, you're putting in a lot of juice at a very fast rate, and then you're doing coffee enemas, taking out the toxins at a very fast rate. So there's this perfect yin and yang. I mean, there's this constant beautiful circle that's going on. You're killing, you're eliminating, you're killing, you're eliminating. So that's why it works. But it does not work when you're constantly juicing and stirring up these toxins, sending them to your liver, and you're not eliminating them. It just doesn't work that way. And that's why a lot of people who try juicing sit there and tell me, oh, I can't stand it. It's just horrible. I felt like I was sick to my stomach, or I thought I was just going to throw up constantly, and the juices were making me sick. And that's why a lot of people don't tell you, if you're going to go straight from a nasty diet into juicing, you need to somehow eliminate those toxins along the way. And that has to be by incorporating coffee enemas. There is no other way to get those toxins out of your body that quickly. When it comes to juicing versus blending, there's a lot faster oxidation that goes on with juicing as opposed to blending. So if you're working, blending would work better for you, because if you blend the night before, you can put it in a jar, you can put it in the refrigerator. That blended juice will last you 72 hours, up to 3 days, without oxidizing. There's antioxidants in the fiber. So when you remove the fiber in juicing, it oxidizes a lot faster. So you also have to keep that in mind. If you're juicing, you can let that blended juice sit around all day, and you're not going to lose all that precious stuff in the juice. Where in the blended, when you do it in your blender, when you're juicing through something like a Jack LaLanne juicer, a Breville juicer, or something like that, those nutrients have a tendency to just literally precipitate very, very, very quickly, because they evaporate. They oxidize basically very, very, very quickly. So another problem with juicing that you also have to keep in mind is that a lot of people get into the habit of, oh, this is my favorite juice right here. I take an orange, I take a lemon, and I take a strawberry. This is my favorite juice. And, or lemon ginger blast, or, carrots and apple. That's what they like, and that's their favorite juice. And they'll drink that juice over and over and over and over. And that's very hard on the system. And too many vegetables in the diet can also lead to indigestion, especially like celery. And those with gastro issues, it can actually cause a lot of indigestion besides storing up certain toxins that certain vegetables have, because you can't keep juicing the same vegetables over and over and over. And when you have a high amount of vegetables, that also will cause indigestion if you have problems with your colon. Where if you were to blend it, you would usually maybe use one apple, a handful of spinach and some water. You wouldn't be using a lot of vegetables and overloading your body with a lot of vegetables. So when you overload your body with a lot of vegetables, you have a tendency to end up with a lot of indigestion, because a lot of people, because it has a lot of crude fiber. So a lot of people will write to me or ask me, and they'll go, Marie, what the heck, man? I just drank this whole jar of juice, and they're putting in like 10 to 12 vegetables, and they can't understand why it's just going right through them. I mean, that's going to cause a lot of indigestion for you, and it can also cause a lot of diarrhea. And if you have cirrhosis, you also have to be very careful with that, because crude fiber, when you blend a lot of vegetables or you drink a lot of vegetables, crude fiber can cause stomach bleeding in people with cirrhosis. So with people with cirrhosis, it'll actually cause and aggravate the disease even more. So if you're gonna have something, you're better off blending, and like I said, one fruit, one vegetable, and water, and you're good. You're not putting in 10 different vegetables and in a juice and trying to drink that and causing more problems if you have cirrhosis of the liver. Also, too many green vegetables over and over and over. There's a lot of people that will juice 32, 64 ounces of juice every single day. And too many greens can lead to calculus. And like celery, spinach, tomatoes, these can all, if they're taken in a lot, it will cause calculus. And yes, it's spelled just like the math calculus. Because these vegetables contain a lot of oxalic acid, okay, which forms oxalate stones, and which are very, very difficult to pass by the kidneys, and you end up with a lot of renal problems. So you don't, a lot of people say, oh, I'm a raw foodist, this is great, man, I'm drinking my veggies every day. Not always such a great thing. You don't want to be drinking that much. To me, it's great to incorporate green juice with a healthy diet, but it's not so great to constantly be living on this green juice, because, there's a lot of things that can happen. Also, when you're consuming a lot of greens, a lot of people don't realize that there's not a lot of iron in these green vegetables, and it's been depleted from our soil. So I find a lot of people that come to me have anemia and have iron deficiency. The way that I take care of that with me is that I take spirulina. A lot of people don't like spirulina. It makes them feel worse, whatever. But I am a huge spirulina advocate. I love it. I don't take it every day, but I do take it on a weekly basis. I take at least, 4 pills at least once a week to replace my iron and make sure that I'm getting enough iron in my diet. Also, lately, a lot of people have been putting kale in their drinks. They're all about the kale. Kale chips and kale this and kale that, and let's fry up kale. I mean, it's like it's just become the new wonder food. And a lot of people need to know that kale contains something called groidigan. or Goidergen, which is basically like cyanide to the body. It blocks your thyroid's ability to function and produce iodine. So you want to be very careful how much kale you eat and how much kale you put into your body, because it has that. And there's a few other vegetables, cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli. What are the chances that you're going to juice cabbage? Not very likely. What are the chances that you're going to juice cauliflower or broccoli? Not very likely. But I like to warn people about kale, because there's a lot of people on YouTube and Facebook and Yahoo and all this that sit there and say, oh yeah, take a bunch of kale and throw it in there. You should have your kale every day. Kale is not the end all be all like everybody says it is, and it does interfere with with your thyroid function. So everything in moderation. Okay, so I found that people who have colon issues, they don't do well with cold drinks. I come from a background of diverticulitis and Crohn's and irritable bowel syndrome and ulcers and everything else. And I find that, if you're going to eat your greens, any of that, you're better off boiling whatever greens you like. It doesn't matter. Just boil the hell out of them and then just throw them in a food processor and make a soup out of them. And you're better off getting them into your system in a warm substance. It actually will hit your stomach better. The spleen does not like, if you get into any kind of Ayurvedic medicine and you start realizing all that, you notice that when the colon is not doing so great, it does not like to accept cold foods. It prefers something a little warmer, and those have a tendency to sit in your system a lot better if you warm it up, especially in the winter. I'm also under it's something that I've been testing out for a while, that there's certain things that our body accept better in the summer, and there's certain things that our bodies accept better in the winter. In the middle of summer, you can eat half a watermelon and your body will sit there and go, oh, thank you, that feels so good. And your body will just soak it in, take it in, and use every last bit of nourishment. You do not get the same feeling if you eat that same watermelon in the middle of December. There's certain foods, and the body knows if we're in the middle of winter, or we're in the middle of summer, or we're in the middle of spring, or we're in the middle of fall. So there's certain foods that do better at certain time of the year as far as our intestines go. And I think it's because at one time, a very long time ago, we used to eat what was available to us during that time of the year. We would never eat a watermelon in the middle of December because we didn't have access to watermelon in the middle of December. We knew that watermelon season was, June, July, and early August, and that was it. And that's whenever those fruits or those vegetables are in season, that is when it's the best on the body. For the last 2 months, well, I'd say since middle of October, I've been eating a lot of acorn squash and sweet potatoes and spaghetti squash and stuff like that, because that's what's in season right now. And I've noticed that it sits very well in my stomach. So basically the bottom line is, if you have cancer, if you're trying to fast, if you have malnutrition, or you're on a healthy diet, juicing is awesome, to incorporate or to really add to that diet to make you healthier. If you're keeping a work schedule, you have irritable bowel syndrome, you're just starting out, or you need more fiber, it's easier, it's faster, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper to buy a little cheap blender and to just blend your fruits and your vegetables and get those in that way. But if you're going from a standard American diet, please do not forget that if you're going to go into juicing, you have to incorporate enemas because you have to get those toxins out of your body somehow. So whether you pick juicing or whether you pick blending, bottom line is, if you're going to blend, the rule of thumb is that you should never blend more than 3 ingredients. You should pick a vegetable, you should pick a fruit, and put in some water, and that should be your blended juice. That should be your smoothie. If you're going to juice, you should never juice more than four things, because after you use more than 3 or 4 ingredients, what you end up with is this mucky, brown, nasty water that doesn't taste like anything, and it actually tastes horrible. So I hope that I have brought some insight to all this juicing versus blending kind of thing and made it a little bit easier for you from what I've learned. And before I leave, I want to say that I would like to make one of my next videos. I haven't been making a lot of videos lately because I've noticed that there's a lot of people on YouTube and they're just putting out a bunch of crap videos very quick, just to get out there, just to get the views and stuff, and I'm not about that. I don't care about my views. What I want is to get intelligent, reliable information that is practical that you can use. And if that means doing my research for an entire week and you guys only get 1 video a week, then that's what I'm going to do. But in one of my upcoming videos, in the next 2 or 3 videos, I would love to do a question and answer video, because I receive a lot of phone calls. I love all you guys and all your questions. I receive a lot of phone calls. I receive a lot of emails. I have a lot of people hit me up on Facebook, you know, asking questions and stuff. So I wanted to do a question and answer video. So if you have a question, I don't care how stupid you think it is. There is no stupid questions. You know, I don't care how stupid it is. I don't care how personal it is. I don't care how personal you think it is. I'm going to put my email up at the end of this video, and I would love for you to send your question to me. And in the subject line, just put question for YouTube. And at the very bottom, I would like for you to sign it however you would like for me to address you on YouTube. If you want me to use your whole name, you know, please sign it your whole name. If you, you know, or you want me to call you, you know, Pookie Bear, you know, just sign it Pookie Bear. I don't care, but just however you want me to refer to you so that you know that I'm talking about you. So as soon as I get enough questions for that video, I will be posting that video for you guys with, like I said, whatever questions that you may have, and I'm going to try to answer those as quickly as possible. All right, guys. So, whether you blend, whether you juice, please stay happy and stay healthy while you're doing it. Till next time. Bye-bye.